she made a lot of choices that my instincts in my mind think, well, I don't think I would make those choices. So you start to try and not luckily, but because this was, I need to stop using that word, but because this was a true story and we had this book as a resource, Evidence of Love, it's the only text interview that the woman I play participated in after the trial. She never allowed herself to be interviewed since, and I think she regretted participating in the book. And she gave so much information and background about her childhood, about the courting with Pat, and them courting each other through these love letters, and the love letters are in the book. And there's just a lot of information to try and start gathering all these pieces. And usually when it's fiction, you just have the script and you try and make up things to make it all make sense and create some sort of backstory. Sometimes it's not necessary. But for this, it was almost like starting to build a character from like so much information, and the weirdest things sometimes inspire something. And I think what I found interesting, which is something I wouldn't normally make up for characters, like a backstory and their relationship, like what kind of relationship do they have with boys when they're 12 or whatever. Mm-hmm. And there's a long part of this book about her relationship with boys around that age. And for some reason, I felt like it made me understand how she functioned in the world from then on. And and then
I like that.
And so it was something that made me start to build her value system from, and it was really this obsessive hold on a veneer, some sort, and living a life that is filled with lots of aspirational dreams and wants. And I do think she's very different than the community that they chose to create, which is these people who are kind of fighting against the culture of what's happening in modern America with the women's liberation movement, civil rights movement. They come back and they try and create this like old school traditional nuclear family, and I do think she's kind of pushing against that a bit and wants to become more progressive. I got script 1. I got the Texas Monthly articles. I asked for script 2. I was really interested in this woman's grip and obsessiveness of withholding some sort of veneer, and whatever that tension was. But I also felt like in the writing there's a lot of humor to be had. I didn't realize the Texas Monthly articles were real. I thought they were short fiction because I read a lot of short fiction in magazines, and that's what I thought it was. So it was really more the tone and the character that I was drawn to. And I was trying to figure out, knowing the direction of where it was going to go, how to make all these questionable choices make sense and where someone's coming from. So I thought that was intriguing initially, and then talking to Leslie and David, I learned that their hopes of playing with the tone and the feel and this veneer that I was sensing and the humor cutting in was something that they were interested in exploring as well. And so that's how I felt about like the first 2 episodes and so on.